Folks, I'd like to comment on Thomas du Toit returning to South Africa to play for the Sharks, which will be next year in 2026. We're talking about a guy who actually had the rugby world at his feet. This guy left the Sharks after the last World Cup, and made a career at Bath, where he became an absolute crowd favourite. This guy carrying the ball, scrumming opposition, English Premiership record for number of scores tried in a season. Yeah, look, and that got recognised by Rassie Erasmus, and that in the last Rugby Championship, Thomas started 5 of the last 6 games, with obviously Volker coming on and then just destroying the opposition after what Thomas had started. Yeah, look, Bordeaux, one of the wealthier French unions, and there's so much money in France, and they offered big money for Thomas du Toit to go over to them in France, and he said no. He chose to come back to Durban. I'm pretty sure that Durban, the Sharks offered him quite a whack of cash. But I think the big thing that we've got to understand, folks, is that South Africa is not a bad place to be. Hey, it's a pretty darn cool place to be, and I think Thomas actually said it in an interview with the Rugby podcast that he wanted to come back to a country where he wanted his kids to grow up, and welcome back, Thomas. I just think it's fantastic. He's back in Durban. Before he left, he played 116 games for the Sharks. He had a coffee shop in the Kings Park precinct, where anyone who wanted to be known or seen or was involved in rugby went to the Thomas du Toit coffee shop. I'm not sure if he relinquished the ownership rights to that, or he'll come back or whatever, or you'll rebuy it. But I hope, Thomas, that you're back at your coffee shop, pulling those lattes and cappuccinos. But yeah, wow. And also great for the Sharks. Great for the Sharks in terms that, Thomas is a swinger, as they say, and that he can move between tight head and loose head, and that is hugely important. Look, the Sharks are good guys that are coming to the end of their careers. I'm talking about props like Vincent Koch, 35, Ruan Dreyer, 34, 35. So Thomas coming back, he's 31. I think, if he's going to play out his career at the Sharks, it's fantastic for him. Great for Rassie Erasmus, and that